Anyways, yeah, well, everybody, welcome back to the Firahs podcast. And I have a special guest with me today. And it's actually funny because we connected on wings. Now, for people who don't know, they know that I love making wings. I call myself the best wing maker. I won't deny that. Sarah, you know, you had it first on your birthday. And that's obviously how I met you. We got a very, I would say, inspirational woman, somebody who motivates, somebody who loves to travel, somebody who's into chemistry, somebody who I just think is an incredible woman in general. Just from what I've seen on social media and the things you do, I think it's great to see, and I want people to be able to hear you speak, and your content is for the people. So that's why we had to bring Carola Romero into the day.
Thank you. Hi.
How are you
Thank
feeling?
For having me today.
Yeah, it's
I'm
okay.
feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm a bit nervous. This is my first podcast that I'm in.
Oh, is it? Okay. How come you haven't done a podcast before? You've just not been asked.
No. Like, a lot of people have told me, like, you should do a podcast, you should do a podcast, but I've never had the...
Would you say opportunity or...
The opportunity or really the time.
Yeah.
Look at all of your setup, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm prepared for something like that.
Yeah, I know it's not an easy thing because you have to get all the equipment, the mics, everything. So, like, even for me, when I first did my podcast, it was without mics. It was just on the camera, but it was a camera mic. So it used to sound terrible.
Yeah.
And everyone used to be like, you need a mic. And I was like, alright, cool, let me go find the mic.
Yeah, it's expensive, you know? Like,
Yeah, 100%. It takes a long time for somebody, because I have a recording studio at home, and you can say podcast as well, but I use a lot of like the recording stuff, and that alone took me about 4 months. So like every check, you spend a little bit of that check, and then next month you spend a little bit of that check, and that's how I was able to build a studio. So it's been a long time. But I guess I just want to start with how you been, how's life treating you, and just how are you enjoying yourself at the moment?
Well, I'm in my last year of uni,
Yeah.
you know, so things have been a little bit hectic.
Yeah.
I recently participated in a competition called Latin X Cam, bringing forward Latin American chemists, and I put forward my work placement research that I did with my professor.
Yeah.
And that kept me really busy, and now I'm just starting to work with my project, my final year project. I have to do the proposal and everything, so that has kept me busy.
Yeah.
But I still do all my stuff that you saw online.
Yeah.
Videos, which is something that I enjoy a lot as well.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get into that. But I want to start with chemistry though, because I've never met a Latin person in general who actually wants to do science. Yeah. I feel like it's usually music, like basically a lot of entertainment stuff, and then it'll just be normal 9 to 5s. I feel like after that, I feel like our cultures are very similar, where it's like, especially in African culture, we love the entertainment business, but if you don't end up doing that, then it's probably a 9 to 5, maybe some entrepreneurs as well. But that's pretty much where we stay. We don't really do the teaching, the science, or the math. That's more like, I would usually say, Western Europe or something. You know what I mean? So what made you want to get into that?
Well, like you said, we do stay like in normal careers, 9 to 5. I do have a lot of friends that are doing medicine back in Mexico or engineering, but back in other universities back home. I wanted to do chemistry because you see, the thing with chemistry is it doesn't really have a lot of math, at least not the side of chemistry that I do, which tends to be a lot more organic chemistry.
Okay.
And I'm not great with math, so I tend to be able to avoid it with chemistry.
So you're using calculators, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I was to use calculators in the exams, in the lab, I have my calculator and everything. But it's been weird in a sense, because it's not a career that people normally do. I mean, there's obviously a lot of chemists and everything.
Yeah, of course.
But it's a career that when people ask me, what are you studying? And I'm like, chemistry. They're like, what?
Yeah, I can imagine. Because even I was thinking that,
And I decided to do it over here in London just because it's not a very big industry that I know of back at home. Right. If it were, I wouldn't be able to do it from my hometown, which I wouldn't really call a town because it's Cancun, but
yeah.
I would have to move up north.
Oh, so you moved from Mexico to come university here?
Yes.
Swear, but your English was so good.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that day. Like, your English wasn't bad.
No,
but your accent was stronger.
Really? So my accent has gotten smoother over there.
I would say now you don't speak like you're more clear.
Okay.
With your words. Then I think I don't know, maybe just a bit shy maybe, but you was always looking for the word, I would say. But now it just flows. You know what I'm saying? You're just saying that, you're probably just used to us now, isn't it?
Yes, almost 3 years here in London.
How was it when you first moved from Mexico to here?
It was really weird because it was in the middle. COVID had just finished.
Yeah.
So I had to fly through the U.S. and had to do like this weird thing, which I had to be in Miami for 15 days. It's not
really?
like I was not allowed to fly from Mexico.
That's
and then
great.
COVID test. And I was super sick when I got here to London, and I got here by myself. You traveled by yourself as well through all that stress. My parents couldn't come drop me off.
Yeah, of course.
One thing, flights are super expensive, and second, COVID, you know.
Yeah.
So I could travel because I was about to study there.
Of course, yeah.
But I traveled by myself, sick, and I literally just got here with my 2 suitcases.
That's
and I was 18 at the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You would have
I
been.
really didn't know what I was putting myself up to, I think.
Yeah, that's mad. Because I don't think I even knew you moved. I thought you was from here, but you was just very in touch with your culture. Because I don't think I asked you if you came from Mexico. I just assumed you probably went to school here or you joined school here late, and then that's why you still had an accent. Because when I first moved here I came from Sweden. My accent was very strong, but now I just sound like I'm British. But it took me about maybe 6 years to lose any of that Swedish accent at all. So I still always sounded Swedish up until like 6 years later. And then now, when I go back home, everybody's like, you don't sound like us anymore. You sound like one of them.
I don't think I've heard a Swedish accent before.
Really? Have you met Swedish people?
I think so, but I don't remember them having an accent.
Because they all sound American.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they all follow like American English. Well, that's the English that I was following in as well. So even when I came here, I wasn't saying like fizzy drink, I was saying soda. Because we follow the American English, isn't it? So I was out here going, I want a can of soda. And was like, what's soda? And I'm like, that drink. You know what I mean?
I also grew up with American English. I went to an American school back at home.
Back in Mexico.
So that's why like my English was also good, but my English was American when I got
there.
And I would also say things like that, and I was like, like just random things that people would say, I just wouldn't understand.
Yeah. Nah, that's hilarious. Well, I have to ask you, why chemistry? Why, like with chemistry, what is it that made you wanna go into the science world?
I think I was talking to my therapist about this recently. Because originally I've always loved science. It was my favorite subject at school.
Okay, really? Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that class with my chemistry teacher, and it was not as advanced as anything.
Yeah.
I had to prepare separately to study through the UK.
Okay.
It was not at the same level.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the class. We didn't really do any experiments. I sometimes joke with my professor that I was like, I came to this like lab because London Met has one of the biggest labs.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So I came to this lab like full of chemicals and full of like expensive equipment with doing ice cream. That's what we made in my lab back at home.
Oh, swear. Yeah.
That's the only thing that we made. But I think just the fact of being a woman in STEM really pushes me. Okay. Because it's a part of my culture. Feminism and everything, I consider it by now part of my culture with everything that's been happening in the recent years. So being a woman in STEM has really pushed me to be in this area. Apart from the whole science and the magics of how things are made. Is there a lot of women in the science world? Because from like outside looking in, I always see, especially when it comes to like events and stuff like that, you always see a lot of men in that industry. Is it actually like that? And are you trying to be one of those people that are like bringing more women into the industry? Yeah, it is full of men. Thankfully, you know, like London Met is a super diverse university.
Yeah.
And I think our class is pretty equal.
Oh, really? Okay.
Men and women.
That's decent. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. And even like because I'm a success coach at uni, so I tutor a younger years, so first year foundation years.
Yeah.
And their years are becoming every year even more women.
Oh, wow.
So like there's more. I was counting heads the other day that I was in a math lab that they were having. Like 12 to 9, more or less.
Okay, that's a good ratio.
Yeah, but when you go more into the professional outside of the school, that's where you see the gap, I think.
Okay.
That's where you see the gap between
men and women.
And how they're both perceived and received in the space. Because obviously, people already in the industry are a lot older with other mindsets.
Yeah. Are you looking to stay in science when you finish university as well, or are you using it for something else?
Right now, I'm sort of having like an existential crisis about that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my friends want to go into big pharma, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Oh, okay.
Because I have a lot of conflict with those companies, and I wouldn't feel comfortable working for them.
Right.
Knowing, you know, all of the drama that goes with all of them.
Well, yeah.
So
yeah.
So I want to do something that working more directly with people.
Okay.
And I have this very creative side. I love writing. I also love art. So I'm trying to find a way in which I can connect both.
Yeah. Okay.
Chemistry and art, which is very hard to do.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
I'm looking for alternatives or ways to make that happen.
No. The fact that you spoke about that, we've got to talk about you being an inspiration for women, but I just think people in general. I think the content that you create online, I think it's pretty dope. Like, what gave you the motivation to want to do that?
A breakup. I think it was.
Oh, a bad breakup, or?
Yeah, I mean, this was when I started writing in Meraki Flow when I was 16.
Okay.
And I think I started from this place of wanting to fix myself.
Right.
Like wanting to find a way to be a better person and have a better life.
Okay.
So it started as a fix me please, and I would read like a bunch of self-help books and all of these things, and just put all of my knowledge that I would find on things online.
Yeah.
As if I were an expert, but I'm no expert, you know. Just from personal experience.
Yeah.
But recently I've switched a lot more to writing reflections of my own life.
Okay.
And for like what I want is for people to use me sort of as a mirror into themselves, and to think about like the feelings that they get from what they read from me, for it to create conversations for themselves.
No, you know, it's interesting when you talk about breakup, because I feel like depending on how the relationship is, right, you all kind of deal with breakups differently. Like me, when I go through breakups, I'm in the studio making music. That's my thing. It's like 100 love songs, and that's how I get it out of my chest. So when you went through your breakup, was that kind of like your therapy in a way then? Dealing with it by almost being honest with yourself, as well as helping others deal with their issues within a breakup?
Yes, that was my way to deal with it. Also, that was my way to ignore it, I guess, because I was so focused on fixing someone else's problems that I got to ignore mine, which was, I think, what I needed in that moment. You know, how life gives you what you need in the moment sometimes. I think that guided me to where I am now. And moving through my breakups a little bit more swiftly, but now I just write instead of giving so much advice that sometimes is not that great, but...
Nah, I appreciate that. I saw one of the things that you spoke about was finding happiness, but being able to be happy like by yourself. Talk to me about that, because I feel like we're in a situation where happiness is quite interesting, because you get the people that seek happiness through social media. That's either whether that's likes, comments, or basically through their posts, right? Or the people that seek happiness in other people rather than themselves. So how do you feel like it's the best way, or what would you say is a good way of finding happiness within yourself?
I think happiness is a very shiny word. I think comfort or fulfillment would be a word that fits better of a way that us humans desire to feel. And happiness is something that we're constantly looking for.
Of course,
This person love me, this person looking like me and how your career is going.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So I think a way to feel more fulfilled with yourself would be to understand yourself better. That's how I go about most of my content that I write.
Yeah.
To understand yourself better and understand the place that you're at. Because sometimes what social media does is that it puts us in a place of a lot of comparison.
Yeah.
I open my phone and there's like a bunch of people my age doing things that I'm nowhere near.
Yeah.
Like they have their clothing brands, they have their businesses, thousands, millions of followers, and I have how many followers on Instagram? I think like 150 more or less.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't think I've ever noticed. I don't look, man. It's not like I'm looking. Guys, don't look at me like I'm bot. I don't know. Like, I don't look at these things.
Yeah. And it's not a following at all.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I know, but it's like a constant source of comparison, and a lot of people can take it as being less or being more than someone else when that's not really what it's about.
Yeah, of course.
It's like more finding your happiness within, like an internal sense of happiness, an internal sense of fulfillment instead of external from what you see around you and what happens around you.
Have you ever compared yourself to other people on social media?
Of course.
I think we all have, innit? We all have.
It's impossible to not do so. Especially like at a young age, it's impossible to not look at what other people are doing and just put yourself in a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Start thinking that you're inferior to others and thinking that you're less or that you don't have enough.
Yeah,
it's very easy to get to that spot.
Yeah, I think we're in a situation where it's kind of almost scary where kids are today. I think, especially, I got younger siblings, so my little brother, little sister, and my little brother doesn't care about social media as much, but my little sister is the social media freak. Like, everything social media, she's on TikTok, all of that. But I also feel like sometimes she's searching for something through social media. I don't know whether that's happiness, validation. I don't know. She's not going to really tell me. But to me, it looks like if she doesn't have the following that she has, or if she isn't doing what she's doing, then she's not happy. So it's kind of weird to think that social media kind of runs the lifestyle that she's living, which is quite sad. But in a way, that is what social media is. For somebody who uses social media to share, the content that you're sharing to motivate others and stuff like that, do you feel like social media is a toxic place or is a positive place?
It really depends the perspective that you have on it. I've doubted myself a lot when posting things because it can always fall into the toxic positivity side of things. So I always try to be mindful of what I say.
Of
because
course.
I don't want it to be like telling people like, oh yeah, be happy, run into this field of flowers, when life is not like that.
We have to
acknowledge that reality is harsh and life is hard, growing up is hard, and so I try to be very mindful of what I post in that sense. But I have fallen before, I think, in that area of trying to make everything look pretty. And it's hard because that's what people look for in social media. The aesthetic, the wonderful content. And sometimes that's just not what you can give. And a lot of us use social media just to escape our feelings and our emotions and what's going on in our lives. Like when you lie in bed, while watching TikTok, right after uni, right after work. Just like, I think it's called doom scrolling. So at the end of the day, either you're trying to escape something that you're feeling that you don't want to feel.
100%. I think, I've fallen into the whole, I see someone looking good and I'm like, oh, my life ain't that great. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just, I used to go through it a lot before when I was new into entertainment business, but I think that's because I was always thinking, well, we all do the same thing, but I'm not doing that, if that makes sense. So I guess I fell into that as well. But then quickly came off it. I think once I realized what it was that I wanted from whatever it was I was doing, I didn't need a validation from the other people because we're doing the same thing, but our goals and our aspirations were a bit different. So for me, life changed that type.
It's when you try to do the same thing that other people are doing that you start feeling that way, and then you start comparing yourself. But when you start to create your own path to things, that's when things become easier.
Yeah. So what would you say is a true quality of life? I've heard you talk about this so many times. So I want to hear it from you. What is a true quality of life, in your opinion?
I think, for me, my true quality of life, because I can't speak of others and I cannot speak of what someone else's true quality of life might be. Because that's very personal. My quality of life would consist of me being able to feel all of my emotions and to be in my body completely. To acknowledge the things that are going on and to be able to process them. You know, so to not go into an existential crisis every 5 seconds, every time that something wrong happens. To be able to go through my emotions in a healthy way and to be able to live whatever comes my way with that mindset. Because I can't control most of the things that come my way.
Yeah.
I can only do so much.
Yeah.
So I think the quality of life comes from the way that you perceive what's going on.
Yeah. No, I heard that. You know, you're so mature. Where does that maturity come from? Did you have to grow up early because you left home and came here? Or is that something from your childhood you've always kind of carried with you, like growing up quite quickly?
I think, well, I'm an older sister. So
okay, yeah.
Well, I just have one younger sister, but so I guess that could be part of it.
That's another reason.
But at the same time, I think COVID really pushed a lot of us to grow up a lot faster than we intended to.
Yeah, I think so.
And my very swift decision to move to the other side of the world, I think, had like a lot of impact on me. And because I just I remember, I don't think I was really present when I moved here to London. I didn't realize what I had done, and only in the past year or so that I was like, oh my god, did I do that? Did I just pack my bags and moved out of my house and into London? A really big city.
Yeah.
With so much to reflect back on. So I had to explore a lot of things, and also leaving home is a lot of grief as well. And a lot of emotions that you have to really go through. So I think that made a really big impact. Also, years of therapy. So.
No, because I think not many people in your position would act how you act. Like I even forgot your age until you told me earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, forgot. Because it's like you don't act like somebody who's 21, 20. You know what I'm saying? You act like somebody who's like 25, 26, or maybe even older, but you don't look older. So it's like I kind of knew, but I forgot. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? So I just think, I just got condemn it. Like I think I respect the fact that you've reached that level of maturity to even be able to want to share what you're learning in your day-to-day life with other people. 'Cause I think we're living in that world where people don't really want to share information anymore. People want to keep it to themselves. So it's always nice when you meet people that are willing to, share information that they've learned with other people. So yeah, I salute you for that, for real.
Thank you.
Definitely salute you for that. Why do you think people force themselves to have a good day? That's something you spoke about as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on my way here, actually. And it relates back to what I told you about the emotions. So we have this idea of happiness as the perfect day, and you wake up, you have your breakfast, you wake up in a good mood, you feel productive and all that stuff. And honestly, that's how I want to feel every day.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But when you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
It's true. There has to be a balance, You're not always going to have perfect days. And when we want to always have perfect days, we leave aside this whole other part of us, which is also very important.
Yeah.
Which is the part of us that's able to feel the negative emotions without judging them. The part of us that's able to just sit in the things that are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And to force ourselves to always have a good day is to ignore the side of us.
Yeah.
Which, when things actually get hard, is going to be a lot more difficult for us to be able to cope with those things.
Yeah. No, it's true, because I think it's interesting, right? Because you can have a bad day, but you can lie to yourself that you're still happy. But it's more or less, you're not lying to yourself, you're more or less lying to people.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens is you don't want everyone to know how you truly feel, so you almost smile through it. Is that something that you think people do too much of? It's like smile through the sadness when in reality all they want to do is kind of let it out? Because I think if you talk from a male perspective, we always get grown up to be alphas.
Yeah.
We're told if you're sad, you suck it up, you man up, you handle your job, and you just don't, you don't show emotion. So when we are emotional and we're with like a group of our guys, not one person gonna sit there and go, guys, man, like I'm stressed today. That's not how we're gonna do. And if you do that, we're gonna laugh it off, or we're gonna say, let's just get a drink. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the way that we react to things is very much like, yeah, let's not go into that. Let's just do this so that you forget about that.
Yeah.
And you don't really have that conversation. Do you think that's a problem amongst men, that men just don't share their issues or get emotional? Because I feel like even if you have a partner, they kind of struggle to sometimes even share it with their woman. You think that's a problem that we have?
I do think that that's a problem, but not in the sense of it being a problem individually of the person. Because I think it's something that's so ingrained in our society.
Yeah.
And like you said, like you're with a group of friends and everyone just laughs it off, and it can be really harmful for men to not have that output, to be able to share how they feel, to be able to share
100%,
their emotions, because at the end of the day, like men, women, everyone else, we're all human.
100%,
we all should have the right, should have the space to be able to express these emotions, and it can be very hard to do so. Like not even like that you don't feel that you're allowed societally, but also within yourself, it's hard to do it when you're not used to.
100%. I think. Is that me or you? I was thinking, wait, my phone's dead. I think it's interesting because, well, I guess I'll ask you, when you're in a relationship, how much do you expect to be shared with your partner? How much do you expect? Yeah, basically, how much?
From my side or their side?
I'll say from both. Or what do you expect from your partner? Because, like, if somebody isn't feeling really well but doesn't want to speak about it, but how long are you willing to wait before you finally find out? Because sometimes I feel like things get bottled up.
Yeah.
And then they get bottled up until you have an argument. And then you hear like a list of issues and you're just there like, well, this was like 3 months ago. Why you not tell me 3 months? Yeah. So like, how long do you feel like people should wait or give the information to the partner about how they truly feel about certain situations?
I think it really depends on the person, but it can be when, like I told you, when you are not used to sharing these kinds of things, it can be very hard to be that vulnerable, especially with people you love. I think it could be easier with strangers, but with people that you love, to share to them what you really feel, it can be very hard. And I think from my side, it's like my turn to put myself into a position in which I can acknowledge that from the other person and be able to respect that space. Because sometimes, like, I want to say as a woman, but I think a lot of us, everyone does this, that we want to fix problems right away. We want to get things in place. We want to know how the other person feels so that we can feel good with ourselves. Yeah. But sometimes we have to take a step back and be patient with the other person. Yeah. Because it's not only you who's feeling those feelings. It's also the other person. That has all of these feelings that they're not able to express at that moment. So calmly, you can explain to them like, hey, I know you're going through some stuff. Right now, this is how I feel. I don't know how you feel, and it's okay if you don't want to talk about it right now. But can we please talk about it within X amount of time, because it's really causing me a lot of stress as well. So just to set boundaries, and but give space to the other person.
Yeah, how different is it for women compared? I mean, I think I kind of know, but when women want to be emotional around other women, I see this I feel like lesbian couples have it a lot easier than just man, woman, or man, because girls, they can just say things, how they feel, either straight away, which is interesting because I used to date a girl. She's now, she was always bisexual, but she's now in a same-sex relationship. And obviously we didn't break up on bad terms, so we don't talk often, but we talk here and there. And whenever I talk to her, she's like, it's so interesting. When I'm with the girl I'm with, I could talk. But when I was with you, I didn't want to talk. And I'm just like, what? Why is that? Like, why couldn't we have what we could? Like, the conversations just never really happened the same way it happens when why is that? I mean, you're a woman, so I'm guessing you might know a bit more. Do you find it easier to talk to women than men? Or
it depends, because it's more about the willingness of the other person. How willing are they to hear me?
Right.
Because I've been in relationships in which all they want to do is to hear themselves speak, like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay. I thought it would be very different. Is that more masculine?
To hear themselves speak?
Yeah. Are they more masculine in that sense?
I mean...
Or...
He was... I don't know if I would define it as masculine.
No, because I feel like masculine men want to hear themselves.
Yeah.
But
I depends on if it's a positive aspect of masculinity or a negative aspect of masculinity.
I mean, that's for you to tell. I wouldn't know.
I mean, if you're trying to express your emotions and the other person's not willing to hear you, that's different.
Yeah.
I still have a hard time sharing my emotions with my in my woman relationships.
Okay.
It's not only in my male relationships, but also with women. I also have a hard time sharing emotions with them, especially when it's about them. Right. You said this thing that hurt me. Mm-hmm, it can be hard because you don't want to lose those relationships. Yeah.
And
it's the same thing when you're in a romantic relationship. It's hard to say things because you don't want to lose the relationship. Yeah. But I don't know. I've always found it easy to talk about my emotions with everyone. But I think that's just because I've taken away this part of me in which I inhibit myself from doing so. I tend to just share, and if people don't want to hear, they won't.
But you are easy to talk to, so I'll probably admit that you are easy, because I think you're the person I spoke to quite a lot at Sarah's birthday. Right? We were just sitting outside. I was trying to think. And you was easy to talk to. I didn't even know you. I knew Sarah, the two Sarahs, and then I knew a few other people, but I was talking to you more than I was talking to them. So no, I definitely agree. I think you just have that personality where you make people comfortable and easy to talk to. So I guess then, because you're willing to open up, it probably makes the people around you more willing to open. Yeah. Because it always takes one person to open up for the other to feel like, oh, okay, you're saying that then, or this is what I went through, or this is how I feel about certain situations. So maybe you just carried it. You're just a torch carrier for everybody, and then we'll just start speaking. You imagine open up a therapy session, yeah? We'll all come through.
People want to talk about their emotions.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I also want to go into something that I think is quite interesting, right? And that's to do, we spoke a bit about relationships. And I think we've all seen the Jada and Will Smith stuff, right? We've all seen that, right? How much information do you think people should share about their relationships on public platforms, whether that's social media? You don't have to be famous or not. It's just how much information do you think people should share? Because if I'm dating, you would never know. I don't post them. I don't tweet. I don't post. I don't do videos. I like to keep my private life private. It's the same with my family. I don't really feel like I need to put it out there. Obviously, if I'm with someone, we went on a nice holiday, I might take one little picture to be like, on a holiday with my whatever, Yeah. But the caption might not say that that's my woman though. But if you know, you would know. Like the people that needs to know who I'm with would know who I'm with and would know what the picture meant. But everyone else is just, I mean, if you find out, you find out. If you don't, you don't. But yeah, I guess how much information do you think needs to be shared? Because Jada is sharing a lot of information.
That's the only thing that's been popping up on my Instagram feed. Her saying the randomest things about her relationship.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious and I laugh.
Yeah.
It's not making an impact on me.
Of course.
So it's just more about how it's gonna reflect on her life. And how people would perceive her.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a should and should not of what you should share on social media.
Okay.
I think it's a conversation that you need to have with your partner.
Would you want your partner to post you often? If you're dating, I don't know, it doesn't matter who you're dating. If you're dating whoever you're dating, do you want them to show you off? Is that something that, because I feel like that's a lot of that's what the newer generation want. I feel like I say like I'm 10 years, 20 years older. I'm not that much older, but I'm still older. But I feel like when I grew up, social media wasn't really a thing. It's probably been more a thing for you, innit? I got social media more when I was a bit older, like 15, 16 is when I really got into it. So I was really quite old. Not old, but like old as a child. Whereas you probably grew into social media a lot more from probably 13, 12, 11. So you've had like probably your first relationships and social media was available to you. So you probably were around the more, let's make our relationships on Facebook official or da-da-da-da-da. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas I never used to do that because I never needed to do that. So is that something that you want your partner to do? Is to proper, like, let's say, post you once a day or...
It's brought me problems in the past, this conversation.
I've had problems. You go first. I'll tell you my problems. I've had so many problems with this.
Before, I used to want to get posted a lot. I used to want to be shared, like, almost like as if I were, like, a thing, you know? Like,
but why, though?
Almost as if I were a thing, like, this is my girlfriend, you know? She is all of this, and here's it for everyone to see.
Yeah, right.
But now I'm just in a place of, like, that's your social media. You post whatever you want. And that's your social media. But honestly, like, I've dated some people that still have post up with their ex and stuff like that.
Yeah, you dated them. Red flag. I'm sorry. Yeah. Red flag.
And it's,
why?
And I'm like,
why would you do that?
I mean, it's like, I'm talking like 1-2 dates, you know? Like,
but still, but what made you, that's a bit weird, isn't it? You don't think that's a bit weird?
Yeah, I think it's a bit weird, especially because, I don't know.
Did you ask them why they were there?
No, this was, I found out that the ex was in social media after he told me, you remind me of my ex. So that should have been like, you know.
That's another red flag. God,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I respect his honesty. Was it he or she?
He. Yeah.
God, I respect his honesty.
I mean, I did look like his ex, to be honest. We did have similarities.
That makes it even worse, though. So basically, he was looking for another ex.
I guess. I mean, I don't really know, but it would have bothered me if he didn't post me. If we had gone further. We didn't get together, but like, if we had gotten together and he didn't delete the picture with his ex and post me, I would have been like, that's iffy, you know? Yeah. Because if you do use social media, and you did post your ex, then why are you not posting me?
Yeah, it's true. But
if they don't use social media at all, or barely post anything, haven't posted any past relationships, then I can just understand that that's just how they use social media.
Yeah.
I don't post my relationships anymore. I went past the threshold and I was like, okay, now I don't want anyone to find out who I'm dating, what I'm doing. Because it gets complicated. People ask questions and everything.
That's basically what I was going to say, because that's the reason I don't post, because, like, I don't even know 90% of the people that follow me. You know what I mean? I don't know them. I know that they might seen some content around, but that's about it. I don't know who they are. So I think I might know about 500 maybe of my followers, but I have like nearly 7K and I can't tell you who they are. So my always reasons has been like, my Instagram is my work. I don't look at it as my real life. Like obviously my stage name is Firahs, but I'm Sharif. The woman I'm dating knows Sharif. She doesn't know Firahs. So I wouldn't post her on my business page because it just looks weird. Like, I don't use that page to post my private life. I use that page to post interviews or just content to do with that persona that I've built online. But I was dating this one lady for about 2 years, I think. And we used to get into so many arguments because she would think I didn't want to post her because I was hiding her.
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing.
That's a big thing. But and obviously, because I do a lot of like content with other women or artists, whatever, and I would post them. To her, it was, but you'll post these other girls.
That's your work.
Yeah, I know, but some people, you know, they still feel like, well, you're not posting me, but you're posting other girls. You know, she didn't care about the guys. It wasn't like, I posted all these dudes, but I don't care about that, but you posted that Stephanie girl. And I'm like, yeah, because I did an interview with Stephanie girl. You know what I mean? And I don't think it was interesting because I felt like in that relationship that she needed validation through me. Yeah. Well, through social media, but also through me. She always wanted me to kind of like always reassure her all the time. It was always like, do you love me? And I'm just like, yeah, it hasn't changed in 24 hours. Or it was be like, okay, why don't you go on the internet and tell everybody you love me? And I was just like, you want me to just go and do my story to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, she wanted people to see. And I don't really know how like, it was forced as well. So I would rather have just knowing that she wanted me to post her and then one day surprised her with a post. But I felt like the main reason I just wouldn't do it was because I was being asked to do it now.
Yeah,
so
that happens a lot.
So because she was asking me, I'm like, no, I'm not posting you now because you keep asking me to do it. Like, so I'm only going to post you because you've told me to. And then I would eventually make a caption that she's told me to do. That's the manager. For anyone who doesn't see, the manager just walked in. But yeah. I just couldn't post with her because she basically was forcing it. Do you think I did the right choice or a wrong choice? I want to know what you think about it.
I mean, I've had this happen in the past, flowers. Why did you send me flowers?
Hey, I'm good at buying flowers though.
But like,
just saying.
men have this thing in which when you ask them to do stuff, they don't want to do it.
No.
So it's just something that I've learned. It's not. I don't think it's something that I can change about someone.
No.
But
no, it's fine. So
fine,
yeah.
Okay. It's not something.
It's just the closer you are to the mic, the higher the pitch. The further away, the lower.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter. It just goes up and down all the time. Plus, it's doing the same thing here as well. So.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What was the thing? It's just
men don't respond to what you tell them to do.
Yeah. When you tell guys like, "Hey, send me flowers. Hey, like, can you please open the door more for me?" or something like that. I've seen that they don't respond to that. They don't like it when you tell them what to do because they don't like feeling controlled, But control.
But don't you think it's sad though that because I feel like some men love being in control. Do you think that's a problem? Because I feel like men that don't like to be told what to do wants to be in control.
Yes.
But that's also a bad trait.
I think it is a bad trait, yeah.
Because I think if you want to give someone, or if you want to tell someone, that person should be able to tell you something, no? It should be 50-50. I know relationships, debatable whether they are 50-50 these days, or any day, but it should be, But I feel like, because I used to have a problem with this myself. I used to feel like, why is she always telling me what to do? But I used to always tell her what to do. And it took me a long time to understand that. I didn't realize I was doing that. I think for me, it was just an ego thing where I'm like, man, I'm a man. Like, I'll just do it when I do it.
Do what I want.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But then when a girl's like, can you just do this? I'm like, can I have like, what do you mean can I do this? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. Obviously, I'm matured enough now to realize I was doing that. But before then, it's crazy how much I didn't realize I was doing that. Like, I didn't realize, I wouldn't say I was controlling, but I definitely had controlling traits.
How did you realize that?
Because when I broke up with the person I thought I was going to be with the rest of my life, I asked her if we could have a chat. And I just asked her, like, what did I do that made you not want to be in this relationship for any further? Because she's the one that ended it. Well, she actually went back to her ex.
Oh, wow.
So she ended up cheating. But she just kept saying that, like, I would do things that without thinking. So it was like the controlling thing, or like I used to get very much annoyed when she would like talk to people, like particularly of the opposite sex or other men, but like I wouldn't know who they were. So I was quickly like, bro, who are you talking to? Like, who's that? Like, who's that guy? And it's always like, I always made it out like it was a problem, but in reality it was probably like it was like a work, like it was no one special to her, but to me it was, that's another man trying to get in your pants. And I was just constantly looking for something for no reason. And obviously at some point it became a bit too long to her. She was just like, bro, you keep searching for something that's not there.
I think that's just something that we learn as we go through relationships, we find out so many things about ourselves.
100%.
You're like, oh, like I do that.
I
shouldn't do that anymore.
100%.
I should focus more on, I don't know, like you said, like focus more on what I say. Pause a little bit.
Yeah.
It's something that you just learn as you go, I think.
Yeah. And I think it's also important, and I think for anyone listening, anyway, it's always important to listen. I think that was my worst trait. I never really listened. I listened to what I wanted to hear, but I didn't take in the other information. So like the smallest of things, like someone like chocolate and flowers, because I never really cared about buying chocolate and flowers, that will come in one ear out the other. And all I had to do was do something nice, buy some chocolate and flowers, because she was hinting it. I didn't care. Like, I was like, you can just do something else. Like, you don't need chocolate and flowers. But the small things and the little things are some of the most special things in a relationship, which I learned because I wasn't doing it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's something we learn when we feel a lot more important in the relationship than the other person. You know, because when you feel equal, I think this is a thing that happens a lot with men, that they feel superior to their partner. So when you feel equal to someone, you want to do these things for them.
100%.
You feel like it. It comes to you, I think. Maybe it doesn't come naturally because you didn't grow with stuff like this, but you have a feeling of wanting to do something. So I think it's more of trying to place yourself in like an even place with your partner and seeing them for who they are. And also, I was reading this book. I don't remember the title, but the name of the book. But it was saying that men, when they listen, they give solutions.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And women, when we are talking about our life, we don't want solutions. We just want to be heard. We just want to like be told that like, oh, that sounds tough, you know. It sounds tough that you went through that. I'm sorry. Here's a hug. But I've been in relationships in which they try to fix my whole life and.
Really?
No, not my whole life, but like.
Define fixing.
Well, fixing in the way of like, okay, let's invent a problem. I was at work and my colleague got really mad at me because I didn't give me a task. I don't know.
Oh, give you a task?
Yeah, give me a task. Something that you do at work.
Clean the walls? Okay.
Clean the walls.
You said give me a task. I thought of the first thing that came to my head.
Because I didn't clean the walls the way that she wanted to clean the walls.
Yeah.
And said partner could listen and say, that sounds tough. How did you feel? Like, did you maybe feel a little bit embarrassed? Is there something I could do? Like, we can talk about it, you know? Tell me how you feel. And fixing it would be more of me, like, talk to your boss. Tell them that she did this. Blah, 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 blah. Why didn't you tell her blah, 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 blah. And, like, trying to come up with solutions. For the problem that's maybe not even a problem for her anymore. You know, like, maybe she already dealt with it, but she just wants to be listened to. She wants to tell you about your day, and you were trying to talk to management already. You know? It's just about listening instead of trying to find a solution for everything.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We need to do that with ourselves as well.
But it's interesting you say that, right? Because I don't know how you are, but I feel like women always try to fix a dude.
Yes.
They would find a guy who probably isn't the greatest guy, or, you know, they love the little bad boy image dudes. I'm saying you do, but some women do. They have like, I want a bad boy. Then they get the bad boy and they're like, well, now I need a husband and I need to fix you to become a husband, but still look like a bad boy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Why do women do that?
I think, okay, so said book that I also mentioned, like it's that men try to fix women's problems.
Yes.
And women try to make men into their improvement projects.
Yeah.
So it's like on both sides. It's like the same thing but different. You know? So I think it's just because we tend to just find someone that reflects our attributes, and then we don't like what we see. And then we're like, I mean, he would be better if he did this a little bit less. Or maybe if he washed the dishes this way. Or if he... So we nitpick a lot. We're okay, you are doing things properly, but you're not. So you need to do it the way that I want them to do them. Also, maybe some... What's that term? That men do a lot. Self-imposed incompetence? What was it? Have you heard of it?
Self what?
They like... When men act like they're incompetent to do things, but they actually can do them, but they just don't want to do them.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You know, have you heard that term before?
I mean, what you just said I know, but I'm trying to figure the term.
What's the term?
There is a term, but I know what you mean. I think everyone got what you mean because you explained it well anyway, so
yeah. Like, men just like pretend that they can't do something just so that they don't have to do it. But how am I supposed to get you flowers when you're all the way there, you know? It's like, I know you were able to figure it out. You
it's not that hard. It's kind of about to do it,
But so it could be that we're always nitpicking, or it could be just our need to make you into the person that we actually want, but that's toxic. You know? Find yourself a guy that you actually like.
No, it's true. But that's the thing though, like, they find what they like, but they don't find every quality in the long term. I think the issue is, basically what I think the issue is, a lot of us think with our sexual preference to the actual person. Mm-hmm. I think the problem with dating today is we are searching, not all of us, but I feel like the majority of the people, they go by what they find attractive first, and then the person second. So what happens is you fall in so deep with the person that you were sexually attracted to, that when you really think about the person you're with, you're like, I can't believe I'm with this person. Like, do you know what I mean? Because the person hasn't got half the traits that you want in a person, but what you like sexually is what you ran off with initially, and then you ignored every red flag that probably came up in the honeymoon period. And then once it ends and you really have to have real conversations, and I don't know, you might move in with them or go on holiday with them, you proper realize who they are, and you're just like, wow, I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah, I think a lot of people also like pretend to be someone that they're not.
I mean, honeymoon period.
In the honeymoon period. One of my exes told me, like, I think you don't like me for who I am because the person that you fell in love with was not who I was.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
How did he realize that?
Well, because I broke up with him.
I mean,
I think that's what let him. He said that because I was nitpicking him a lot, and he did not understand why. And he came to the realization that I was in love with the guy that he showed to be at the beginning, but that was not really him, because he put up this persona just so that I would like him. So he did everything he wanted you to see. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly, and that's what a lot of people do. Like, we've all done that, though. I mean, I've done that so many times. Just to get with someone that you like, you know. Yeah. I mean, I don't do it. I'm too old to do that now, right? Like, I feel like nowadays, like, I don't even I mean, I try, but it's like, I don't. Like, I feel like I kind of act how I would act 6 months later in the first 2 dates, because for me, it's like, I would rather you just, I'm not going to show off. I just don't have time. Like, I don't see the point in showing off anymore. I'm not going to, like, I used to be like, let's go to the shop. I used to do the most, you know, like, I would spend like, some of you girls, man, you might need to owe me some money, I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, I used to spend like, I could spend like £400 on a date. On a first date, that's a lot of money. Like I wanted to wow the girl, and I'd take her to the shore, might do a river cruise. Like, I would make the day great, but then it's like, then she expects it all the time. Exactly. So it was like, when I didn't want to do that, and I was just like, let's just go like a, maybe, I don't know, like a TGI, something normal. She's like, nah, we went to the shores last week. We went on a river cruise, like, we was at a rooftop bar. Like, you gave her what she wanted, and you're like,
you show me your life. Like, this is what you live. This is what I want. And I'm like,
that's not me.
I mean, I don't live like, I don't even do that in my day-to-day life. I might be able to do it, but I don't even enjoy doing those things. I did that just because I wanted her to feel good. I mean, I would never go to the shop. I mean, I'm black. I like big portions of food. I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, the portions that come, looking at it, it looks all nice and neat and clean. But I'm still hungry. Do you know what I mean? So it's not really my cup of tea. But yeah, I used to just love wowing people. But now I'll just be like, let's just go have some fun. Maybe go to an arcade, whatever. Or I just like to do fun things rather than the typical dinners and bars, and I don't know, I just find them boring now.
Yeah, I think it's more important to show who you are.
Just
from the beginning, because why do you want to be in a relationship in which someone loves you for something that you're not?
Do you know what I mean?
You know, like, you're putting up like a persona, like an image of something that you're not, and the person will fall in love with that, and when you finally show who you really are, they're gonna be like, nah. Imagine what that does to your self-esteem.
Exactly. And sometimes you might even get the wrong person.
Yeah.
Because you've then given a person something that they wanted, but not something that you are. So I found with a lot of girls I was dating, and this is the times when I lived in Shoreditch. I used to live in Shoreditch. And when I lived in Shoreditch, obviously Tinder, Hinge. So you get a lot of like the central chicks. And because I was still in that wowing phase, so they already assumed, oh, you live in Shoreditch, money, right? That's just an instant reaction, right? And then, so there are a lot of girls I was matching were girls who wanted that lifestyle. So I would give them that for the first date, but I don't want to do that ever again. So it was like, after the first date, they're like, yo, man, this is the guy, whatever they're thinking. And then quickly they realize, oh, you're not like that at all. And I'm like, no.
That's not who I am.
I just gave you the first date. But you know what I mean? But then they're like...
That's what first dates are, you know? Like,
yeah.
like a band, you know?
Yeah. You just go a bit too hard. But I've learned quickly that I should just do what I enjoy doing. Rather than... Like, the most expensive thing now I do on first date. Because I do all my expensive stuff in the relationships. I think it's always nice to, you know, take them out. Like, you know, you can do like the shop, but like on a nice night out with your woman. But I wouldn't do that with a stranger.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, not that.
Nothing wrong with it, but I mean, if you got the money, do your thing. But I would rather just not waste 300 quid on dinners and a bit of drink on someone I've met for the first time. I'd rather be like, oh, babe, you know what? You've been cooking for like the past 2 weeks. Let's just go out and eat. I'll take you somewhere nice. Do you know what I mean? If you tell her to dress up nice, feel special, put your little heels on. I don't know, whatever dressing up is to you. Because for some people that does mean like tracksuit bottoms and a hoodie. Whatever dressing up is for you, we'll just go out. You feel like what makes you look your best. We'll get a car. We'll go down there and we'll just have a nice meal together, a little bit high-end class, and just enjoy ourselves, you know? Yeah. That's when it should be special, but not on a first date. Nah. Take a Nando's, man. No, I'm joking. No. Maybe not Nando's. Maybe not Nando's. So where would be a good first date for you? What's a good first date? Like,
I think I really like sushi. So
well, no, but you have to start from the beginning. So is it a evening date? A whole day date?
I think you could start in the evening,
okay,
like right after lunch, and then if it goes good, extend to dinner.
Ooh, I like
because
that.
I don't like staying out late, so I was on a date with this guy, and we went for dinner, and then we stayed for drinks, and it wasn't a Thursday, so the night 2 was not working.
Yeah.
So I got really stressed because I was like, how am I gonna get home? You know, like,
yeah.
I have uni next day. So yeah, evening and extend maybe to dinner.
Okay.
Dinner, potentially sushi, because I really like sushi.
Have you been to the sushi bar in Liverpool Street? You know when you have to, you know, it's like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's got a red sign. Is it called Sushi Bar? It's always called Sushi Bar, right?
Where's it?
Liverpool Street.
Oh, I don't think
the glass building, and you go upstairs.
Sushi Samba?
Is that what it's called?
If it's like high...
Yeah, you have to take a lift up to the top.
Well, I don't know.
In Liverpool Street.
I don't know where Sushi Samba is, honestly, but there's one that's a sushi and it's up high. That's all I know.
Yeah, in Liverpool Street, right?
Okay, maybe it's that one, yeah.
Oh, you don't even know?
I've never been.
Oh, you've never been? Oh, you got... listen, if you like sushi...
I should go.
We need to go. But yes, so sushi, yeah? Why sushi?
I don't know. I feel clean when I eat sushi.
Are you vegan or?
No.
No, you ate chicken, of course you're not.
No, I'm not vegan.
But you just like clean food?
I just really like salmon.
Really?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about salmon in the last few days. There were some like good nigiris. Like,
yeah. Now sushi is nice, especially when you got the sweet and sour sauce. Sorry, I'm not even a sushi guy, but my friend loves sushi. He's Korean. One of my best friends is Korean. All he does is take me to all these sushi bars. So he'll be like, "Yo, we'll go out to eat." And I'm like, "What sushi bar this time?" He's like, "Just come, let's go eat." I'm like, "All right." So he's the one who got me into sushi. 'Cause I used to think I didn't like sushi.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was just...
grow up like that, you know? Like,
I don't think I even tried it. Yeah, I don't think I even tried it. I think I tried it first time with him, and then now I love sushi. Like, sushi is the bomb.
Sushi is the bomb. I think it's because a lot of people like see raw fish and they're like,
I mean, yeah. Raw meat in general makes people go,
yeah,
especially in African culture, because we're all about, like, we don't even do medium rare. We're just like, we're just well done. Like, we want it super done.
My mom likes her meat like that.
Oh, is it? Yeah, but she's Mexican though, isn't it? They love that stuff though, don't they?
Actually, we like a well prepared steak, you know, like
really?
Not rare, but like more towards the medium rare.
Really?
Not
what, bloody? Not too bloody.
Like,
medium rare is not bloody.
Well done, but my mom likes to burn it, you know, like she needs it to be completely cooked, nothing red in it.
That's joke.
But it's like, no.
Salute to mama, man. Salute to mama, man. That's joke. So yeah, a good date would be. So what do you do during a day then? So if you meet in that after lunch, what would you like to do? Like go arcade, go walking on the streets?
Somewhere that I can talk.
Yeah.
So maybe a cafe, you know, sitting down, talking face to face, or a walk where I can, like, if I feel uncomfortable, I'm like, oh my god, look at the. Yeah. Have you ever been? You know, like finding topics of conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that like a walk or a picnic maybe.
Yeah, I like picnics at Hyde Park. Nice. That's my thing. That's my go-to at the
moment. The weather really good.
Well, I mean, yeah, in the winter now. You might as well just go Winter Wonderland at this point.
Yeah, well, Winter Wonderland is nice. I think it'll be cool.
That's a good like, day. It's not.
Your ride.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not like a price. It's like going to the arcade, really.
Yeah.
Put just a little bit more money. Because obviously the rides cost a bit more, but like an arcade is nice. You know, if you might win a teddy bear or two, if you're good enough and lucky enough.
That's fun.
Yeah. Have you been Winter Wonderland?
Yes, I went. Not last year. The first year that I was here. So 2021, I think.
How was that?
Expensive.
Yeah, I know. That's what I say. It's a bit pricey, isn't it?
Yeah. I was freezing. Like I was freezing.
Oh, was he not wearing enough clothes?
Apparently not. But, like I thought I was well dressed for the
occasion. Yeah.
I remember me and my friend, we went into, there was like this little tent with like a fireplace inside.
Yeah.
Like freezing to death, like our hands were on the fire and everyone was looking at us like, are these girls okay? Like,
that's hilarious.
It's not that cold, but like she's from south of Spain.
Yeah.
And I'm from Cancun. So we're not really used to
You're used to the heat. You're used to the heat. Nah, I understand that. And another thing, well, this conversation became very relationshipy. How important is closure when a relationship is over? And when should you receive this closure? And it's actually funny because I didn't actually write this because of what I spoke about yesterday on the radio, if anyone listened, by the way. Because there was actually a girl that tweeted she got her closure a year after the relationship. And it was really nice. Like she said, she felt like it was really nice to get the closure. But to me, I was just like, yeah, but he told you like 10 years later. What did you do for 10 years? It's not like, from his perspective, I feel like he should have told her way earlier. But I'm interested that she still cared 10 years later as to why something went down.
Oh, she was probably still in love.
Yeah.
And what is closure, you know? Because for me, closure can be just a conversation that I have with myself, not necessarily with the other person.
Yeah, sure.
So, what was the question?
What did I even say? I don't remember. When is closure? What was the question? I wrote it down. Oh, how important is closure when a relationship is over, and how long do you need to wait until you figure out you get your closure? Essentially,
closure is very important because you get to feel like the sense of completion of like, okay, the relationship is finally over. But I don't think you can always get that from the other person.
Well, that's if they want to speak, isn't it?
Exactly.
Really, it's more time to do.
Like, you have to deal with that. With yourself,
100%. Yeah.
And a lot of people, they don't want to, even in like more dangerous situations in which they had to escape an abusive situation. You can't really get your closure from.
I mean, you never will. You never will. Yeah.
So it can be really hard to get closure in those situations, and even like just when the other person does not want contact to you.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that you should wait like 10 years, like you said, to get closure.
That's a long time. I mean, especially if you wanted it, because she posted it because she's always wanted it, and she got it. So for me, it's can you ever move on if you're waiting for closure on a previous relationship? Because if she's happy after 10 years to move on now, that means for those 10 years, whoever she was with, dealing with or whatever, she was still hung up on her ex. Which is kind of unfortunate for the person she was dating, because the reason it probably never went anywhere or it couldn't go further than wherever it got to was because she never was over her ex, and she probably didn't tell him that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So all the time they're probably thinking they're the issue, when in reality she wouldn't say she's the issue, but she just had to deal with she needed to deal with.
Some people just don't know, you know, like they're not over their past relationship.
Well, yeah, it's not easy to find out.
And maybe like, I was thinking, because I don't know what closure was for her. Maybe a conversation. Maybe she saw him have bad luck or something. Sometimes some people just want to see the other person suffer. But I don't know what closure was for her. But if she had to wait this long, like that meant that the relationship for her was very big. You know,
yeah, 100%.
She had a lot of big feelings that she couldn't really fully get rid of until later. And I think it's not like a matter about waiting, because I don't think you really choose when you get closure. I think my last relationship, I haven't really had fully closure, I think, because I did not have a conversation with him in which it ended in good terms. I think for me, closure would be good terms.
Yeah.
But it's a situation that I had to take distance from. So my closure would be, or was in this way, writing a letter.
Okay.
But I did not send the letter.
You didn't?
Myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
How come you never sent it?
Because I don't think he would ever want to hear what I said in that letter. Some things you have to just keep to yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would have hurt him a lot more if I had sent the letter.
Yeah.
Or said to him any of the things that I wrote in that letter.
Yeah. So it was things you don't think he wanted to hear?
It's things that I think I wrote purposely to hurt him. But I knew that I was not going to send the letter.
Oh, okay.
It's things that I wish I could
have told him. Yeah. Do you still have that letter?
Yeah.
So are you going to keep it or? I don't know. I'm just asking it because I don't think anyone's ever told me they wrote a letter before.
This relationship ended 2 months ago. So yeah, I still have it, but it's like I wrote it on my laptop. You know, it's just there. Wrote it in a random coffee shop. I was like, I couldn't concentrate doing my work, so I was like, I have so many emotions that I have to let out, and I just wrote it down, and I felt so empowered, you know, and satisfied. It was a bit of an angry letter. I'm not gonna lie, but it made me feel better about myself, and I think it pushed me past to the next step of grieving the relationship. Yeah.
No, that's interesting. Do you think that in today's society, insecurity is at a huge high?
Yeah, it's very easy to compare yourself to others. So.
Do you think that's because of social media or just in general?
I think it has to do a lot with social media. Like I was telling you earlier, I could go on TikTok right now and see the lives of other 200,000 people or more, you know, that are living the life that I want. You know, I always see this one lady with her garden and her garden tours. She's like, let's pick vegetables today out of my fresh garden, and I'm like, oh my god, I want a garden. And I think it makes you want to grow up faster and go through the stages of life quicker, just so that you can get to that end result. And you never really get that end result, you know.
Sure, very true.
I mean, what's an end result? I'm guessing that lady still has a lot of dreams in her life, a lot of things to want to accomplish, and I don't think we ever get to this point of our lives in which we're like, I'm finally here. You know? Everything's perfect. I don't want anything else out of life. So it's very easy to compare ourselves to people that we think have everything that we want.
No, I would agree with that. Because that was actually one of the subjects, but I feel like we kind of touched briefly on it anyways. But this is the part of the podcast where you basically get to shout out everything you want to shout. We spoke for like an hour and 9 minutes. So I looked up and I was like, damn, it's been an hour and 9 minutes. I was like, oh snap. It's going to be a lot of editing for me, boy. But I'm also going to post this on radio as well. So for anybody who are listening to this on radio, I hope you enjoyed it. So this will be on Westside 89.6 FM. If you are on podcast and you didn't know the radio station existed, now you know. It's 89.6 in London. If you're not in London, this is westside.com, and any radio app, whatever you use, just search Westside, you'll find it. So this is the part where you can tell them everything that you got going on, social medias, you know, your blog posts, and that kind of stuff. So plug yourself. The camera's there. Look into the camera.
Hi.
And you let them know everything you want them to know.
Oh, thank you. Well, first of all, I have my social media. It's all under the Meraki Flow. So that's TheMeric. I forgot how to spell. Meraki Flow. You know, MERAKIFLOW. And I also have a Substack, which is a newsletter that you get sent to every week. I don't have a paid membership yet, but that should be coming soon.
Okay.
When I start writing longer form content.
Nice.
Apart from that, I also have chemistry Instagram.
Yes.
And
I see that.
That's under Carola the Chemist. So my name, Carola, the Chemist. And there I post a lot of videos of things that I do in the lab at London Met.
Nice.
And then just the rest of my socials are under the Meraki Flow.
Nice. Thank you for that. I just want to say, you are an incredible woman, and I love what you're doing. And keep doing what you're doing, and keep putting a shine on other people's faces on social media and your blog posts and whatever you got going on. And hey, if you want to see her write a blog post on the Street Sessions one day, let me know. get her to do some blog posting on the website, because we only talk about our stuff, so it'll be dope to get some of your stuff with content on there as well. We can talk about that. So let us know if you want that. And if you want to see her, I'm putting you on the spot. If you want to see her doing some festival content, because I actually think it'll be dope for you to come and do some festival content with us as well. So we'll talk about that.
Content.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that later. I sort of told you I did festivals at Sarah's birthday. Did I not know it?
Oh, yeah.
I told you about the journalists and stuff. And then, yeah. So if you want to see her to do some festival stuff with like some celebrities, that'd be quite cool. We'll do something like that. So do let me know. And we'll see you back here. I don't have a scheduled day for podcasts at the moment, so I just dropped them when I dropped them. I will have a scheduled day. It'll probably be every Wednesday, but for now, I'm just posting them when I post them. So keep enjoying the vibes, and I appreciate you guys for locking in every single time. And yeah, thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for
having
me here.
We'll see you back here very soon. Peace.